Hi everyone. I wanted to talk about chakras today. It's something which I really enjoy talking about, and it took me a while to actually understand them in a manner which could be really applied in our life as well. So let's understand what exactly are chakras in very, very simple terminologies and what are our scriptures talking about these energy centers. And not only these 7 chakras above the spine, there are 7 chakras below the spine. So lower chakras, you can understand them as lower minded things, lower minded, even astral beings, because every chakra system, every energy center is like a consciousness realm. So it doesn't only have human beings, it has everything which is vibrating at that level. It could be astral beings as well. So if you go below the Muladhara, what happens is you have lower vibrational entities and you have lower vibrational human beings who are vibrating at a certain frequency. And when you go above it, then you start vibrating at a higher level vibration, which is like more positive in nature, and you meet the deities in this realm. So let's start by understanding the base chakra, which is Muladhara chakra, and this is the entry point into the upliftment of the soul, and the soul's evolution occurs very positively from here. But if you're someone who's, let's say, in fear mode a lot, and anger, jealousy, all those things, it means you're still vibrating at the lower chakra, but doesn't mean that you cannot raise your vibration up and above. So you consider a human being who's always worried, stressed, maybe fearful, maybe angry, maybe full of hatred or jealousy. It means that person's consciousness or awareness is currently lying in the consciousness realm, which is below the Muladhara. And Muladhara is something which is taken care of by Lord Ganesha. So Lord Ganesha is someone who we always worship whenever we are going to start any puja, but in the spiritual terms, you can say he's the one who's gonna introduce you to the higher realms. That's why we say that he's the one who's gonna take care of the obstacles. He will be the one who will take care that you are never going to get down in the energy spectrum. You'll not go into fear, you'll not go into the darkness, you'll not go into the confusion of mind. But once you are in the lower chakras, there are asuras. So let me explain to you what happens when you go below the Muladhara first, because those are the talas, which is like we have Atala, Vitala, Sutala, there is Mahatala, Rasatala. So if we go into our hips area, which has fear, and that person who is actually operating from fear, it means they are just about to enter into the Muladhara, but they have to let go of their fear of what will happen in the future. It means you're not able to be in the present moment. And when you're not able to be in the present moment, it means you're losing the concept of memory, time, and space. You are always in the future. So this is why we say that when a person becomes present, the person's awareness is able to be in the present moment. It means now he's becoming aware of the time, memory, and space. So this is where the Muladhara, the base of the spine, comes into picture, and it's gonna keep us grounded in this moment. So we have different chakras, mantra japs, we have techniques to actually ground our system, but this video is going to mostly talk about what exactly is the meaning of each chakra and how you can actually understand them and relate them into your own life, so that you can know this is where I am in the consciousness right now, where am I going next from here. So let's understand about the Muladhara first. So Muladhara is somewhere Lord Ganesh is gonna welcome you, and he's going to take care of you. He's going to close the door to the lower chakras. This is where you learn to be in the present moment. This is where you learn to be grounded. The moment you understand that now your awareness is going into the past and you're thinking about certain thing, that is also that you're becoming aware that your memory is also existing in the present moment. That's why Muladhara is something which stores memory as well. But the moment you become aware of it, that you become a detached observer of it, that is when the Muladhara is actually getting activated. This is what my understanding is. And it keeps you basically secure. It makes you feel very safe. And this is why this is the entry point into the sadhana. This is the entry point into the dhyan marg. So once we raise our vibration through constant meditation, through devotion to God, you raise your power above. But the next chakra, which is just above the Muladhara, after the root chakra comes the Swadhisthana chakra, which is the, what do we call it? Sacral chakra? Huh. So that is where your power of reasoning comes into picture. And that reasoning is something which is your intellect. Now, only when you are able to be in the present moment, only then your intellect gets developed. Only then you can reason things. Otherwise, you are still reasoning things from your previous perspectives, and you're not giving like a very nice intellectual answer to the things. So you can understand that if a person is able to be in the present moment and is able to generate more insights, it means that person is in the second chakra now. But you have to maintain this. It is possible for certain people that they can have a good intellect, they can reason things, but at the same time they can also go down. They can face anger, they can face a lot of hatred, they can face a lot of jealousy. It means their consciousness is actually, or their awareness is actually vibrating in multiple zones, which they need to actually work upon. And you must have seen yourself as well, when you're actually angry, you lose the ability to reason, you lose your intellect, and we also call it vinashkale viparit buddhi, something like that. So what happens is your ability to reason goes completely out of hand, because you're not vibrating at that level. This will only come when you become observant, and reasoning is also possible when you're observant. Otherwise, you're just maybe talking through your own ego, or just trying to calm yourself down. Now, once the reason thing is basically mastered, the next chakra is that you go to the willpower chakra, which is the Manipura chakra. And this is where a lot of willpower is present. Now, this is the chakra which is governed by Lord Murugan, who is like a warrior and who is also Ganesh's brother, Lord Kartikeya. And he is someone who gives you a lot of strength to maintain the willpower, to be in the present, and also raise your consciousness up and above. But at the same time, you have to also understand that this willpower can also be negative for certain people. That maybe you have this habit pattern of doing something in a certain way, which is also wrong. So you can develop positive willpower and you can also develop negative willpower. But you have to understand that when you develop positive willpower, your consciousness is gonna go up towards the higher chakras. But if your willpower is negative, you're definitely gonna go down into the lower chakras, which is the material world. And above the willpower, which is the Manipura, the gem city, if you go upwards, it's gonna lead you into the spiritual realm. But if you are gonna go down from here, you're gonna go into the material realm. There's no right and wrong here. It's just that how maybe your life's plan is, but you can always change based on your willpower. So this is why Manipura chakra is extremely important. It gives you the power, the self-confidence, the self-power to be the master of yourself. And when you become so determined to take charge of your mind, only then you can move your consciousness above by regular meditation, by being in the present moment. That's why it's very difficult for people to be in the present moment, because it requires a lot of willpower. What is willpower? Willpower is just the ability for you to bring your awareness back to what you are working upon. So if I'm right now talking to you, it requires a lot of willpower for me, so that I can just say whatever I'm thinking about. And even for you to understand and grasp this meaning, you require a lot of willpower. And I feel that you don't have to take spirituality in a very difficult manner, or you should not be scared of it, because if you're scared of it, means know that you're operating from the the chakra, Atala chakra, which is below the spine, below the Muladhara. And then again, it's based off fear. So these are the people who are fearful of God. This is what we do not want in life. We want to create a loving bond. We want to uplift ourselves. So this is why it is said that it is important for us to consume the things which uplift us, which is positive in nature, so that our willpower can actually help us lead us upwards. If you understood what is Manipura chakra, which is 2 inch above navel, you go to the heart chakra. Now, heart chakra, which is also called as Anahata chakra. Anahata chakra has, you can say, the power of understanding. Now, the moment you take your willpower above and you keep contemplating upon a certain thing through the power of meditation, like when we started to be in the present moment, we entered into the stage which is called concentration. And when we prolong concentration, we develop meditation. So prolonged state of concentration is meditation. And when we are able to meditate upon things, what happens? We bring in a higher perspective of things. which is you're able to see things from a mountain top view. And when you can see things from a mountain top view from one angle as well as the other angle and 360-degree view, that is when you can generate insights and you can have understanding of yourself, of others, and this state is called direct cognition. It means that you are now not biased towards your thinking. You're not thinking through the old memory pattern. However, you're looking at things from a higher, bigger perspective, which generates insights and which are unbiased, leading to a lot of understanding, a lot of compassion, because only through understanding compassion comes. And when you have compassion, what happens? Automatically, there will be forgiveness for others, there will be love for others. But before that, you'll not be able to forgive others. You'll not be able to have compassion for yourself as well as for others. So that's why when you go into the heart chakra, you will see that now it is easy for you to forgive others. And once you have the ability to forgive others, what will happen? Your consciousness level will raise from heart and it will go into throat, which is Vishuddha chakra. Now these chakras are higher chakras, which are pure spiritual chakras, specifically the Sahasrara chakra. But right now we are in the throat chakra, which is basically 80%, you can say it's spiritual, which is more soul level, and 20% it's material level, which is the, you can say, Maya, around Maya. This is where once you start forgiving others from your whole heart, you have the understanding and you become a detached observer. That is when you'll have divine love. Now this is the chakra of divine love. And you will suddenly start to notice that you are being graced from God. And only when you're graced from God, you have this ability to feel the presence of God. This is where synchronicities, this is where things start to align for you, because now the universe is providing a lot of support to you. So divine love comes after you have forgiven others. Otherwise, what will happen? You'll be stuck in the lower chakras, hatred, anger, jealousy, whatever. And it'll lead you into basically suffering, and you're not able to be in the present moment, which is gonna steal a lot of joy from your life. So this is where, if only we are able to forgive others through understanding, through compassion, we are able to raise our vibration to divine love. And this is something which is gonna come automatically. No one is going to induce it into you. It can happen either through sadhana, it can happen through contemplation, it can happen even through your day-to-day activities as well. Just be very selflessly working towards the things that you're working without thinking about the outcome of your actions. So there could be multiple paths for different kinds of people. There is no hard and fast rule. But once you reach here, you will realize that you are being blessed by God, and you can feel the presence of divine within you and outside and around you. Now once you're here and you start to go more inwards, or maybe in your dreams you will start to go into your third eye chakra, and this is something which is governed by divine itself. So this is where you have the ability to see all the 7 lower chakras and all the higher chakras at the same time. So people who are operating in this chakra, they are basically operating only because of the grace of God, and they are able to see the things which are important for them to see, so that they are able to maybe help others, themselves, and progress in their journey. And this is the chakra which will help you with intuition. This is the chakra which will help you in having and knowing the purpose of your life. So this is why it is very difficult for people to know the purpose of your life, because people hardly reach to the third eye chakra. But with the constant sadhana, constant meditation, everyday practice, trying to be in the present moment, working on one thing at a time, leaving the attachment to the outcomes of your actions, working selflessly, all these things are gonna build a lot of energy around you, and it's gonna raise your consciousness up and above. So this third eye chakra is something which is governed by Lord Shiva, and he's the one who's gonna take care of the divine vision. He's gonna grace you with his vision. So you just have to leave things to him. This is where we surrender mostly, and this is the chakra which is actually the easiest to meditate upon. But it is always advisable that you don't do that. Do not cultivate a lot of psychic vision, because otherwise you're going to disturb a lot of harmony in your lower chakras. So first we have to work upon the lower tendencies, then only we are able to grow upwards. Otherwise, what will happen if you're going to activate this by focusing here for the long period of time? What will happen? It's going to lead you into a lot of suffering, because you have not dealt with the lower tendencies and you're directly trying to deal with the higher energies. So it's going to create a lot of misbalances, and that is where people suffer with kundalini problems, and then they have these jerks in the body and things like that. And then comes the Sahasrara chakra. This is one of the most beautiful chakra, which is going to illuminate you with godliness. This is going to give you the experiences of what is self-realization, and then eventually God realization. There are 7 more chakras above it, but I don't think I'm capable enough to talk about them right now. Maybe not today, maybe some other day when I think I'm ready for it. I'm sure whoever is watching this video is definitely going to understand what exactly do I mean by all these things. It took me very long time to understand. I always used to think, okay, this is my creative chakra, this is from where my creativity is coming, this is why I'm able to create things. But then I did not know why am I not able to sustain this creativity. It's because my lower chakras were still open and I was still into jealousy, anger, hatred, all those things. That's why my creativity was going away again and again. But to sustain this, you need to work on it through daily practice of sadhana, and it's gonna come to you very naturally. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.